Fam, what happens when worship stops being just a song and becomes a shaking? What happens when grief turns into glory? When tears turn into fire? At Charlie Kirk's Memorial, I saw it with my own eyes. Worship broke out like a river, and a generation caught fire. Let me tell you something. It was not just a farewell, it was a prophecy. Let's talk about it. See, worship is not just entertainment, it's warfare. In 2 Chronicles 20 verse 22, as they began to sing, the Lord set ambushes. Worship opens the door for God to move. At the memorial, worship became the language of healing. Thousands lifted one voice, not to a man, but to the King of Kings. You see, whenever worship rises, revival responds. And worship did rise at my brother Charlie Kirk's funeral service. We are used to stadiums being filled for Super Bowl and politics, but that day the sound was different. Every voice united was a sign God is not done with this generation. The enemy tried to silence a life, but heaven used it to amplify a sound. Family, what sound are you raising? Because heaven only answers what earth releases. It was an exchange of grief for God's glory. You see, the presence of God turns funerals into revivals. At the memorial, people wept, but the Spirit turned tears into encounters. Isaiah 61 verse 3 says, "Beauty for ashes, oil of joy for mourning, garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness." When we worship in pain, it confuses the enemy because we declare that Christ is bigger than the grave. Family, that was not just a memorial. It was about a movement. You see, our generation is being called to worship louder than culture, louder than politics, louder than sin. Worship breaks chains. Worship shifts atmospheres. Worship opens doors the enemy tried to close. Stop treating worship as a warm-up to preaching. Worship is the battle. What happened at Charlie Kirk's funeral means to us today is that this is not just a funeral, rather it's a revival blueprint for us. I imagine what would happen if churches, families, every believer will make worship their first response, not our last resort. You know, that even in the darkest valley, we can lift our voice in unity, in oneness, like we did at Charlie Kirk's funeral to the King of Kings. Do you know what will happen? God is raising worshipers who don't need microphone or stages. Their lifestyle will be worship, and it will carry revival everywhere. Fam, this is bigger than Charlie Kirk. This is about Jesus. Revival is not coming. Revival is here, but it begins with one thing: your worship, my worship. This week, raise a new sound in your room, your car, your church, anywhere you are. Let your tears become a song. Let your pain become a praise. When worship rises, revival falls. This is Christlife Nation, where Christ is life and life is Christ. We have seen how Charlie Kirk's Memorial revealed worship as revival. Now it's our turn. If this bless you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, subscribe, and carry this fire into your generation. Fam, worship is not music. Worship is a weapon. Use it in your personal life, in everything you do. God bless you.